Ryan, the line's been relatively healthy, O-line, but it's still, I'm sure, nice to have just a week with no practice, no contact, just to take it easy with your
Yeah, having a week off is huge halfway through the year. Just a time to refresh and get away for a little bit and refresh the mind and the body.
You guys were able to make such a big effort to eliminate the penalties after that Chicago game last year. What's it going to take for you guys to be able to do that this year coming out of this break?
The same thing, just staying focused and playing disciplined football. That's what's been hurting us a little bit in some of these closer games that we have, and obviously hurt us last week or 2 weeks ago in New Orleans. But just playing more disciplined football is what we're gonna have to do, and that comes from players holding other players accountable and just making sure we're doing the right thing.
What are you guys doing on the O line specifically? Because you're one of the leaders to hold each other accountable.
Yeah, with us being such a veteran group, and a lot of our penalties haven't been necessarily bad penalties. They've been, stuff that happens in football games, holding every once in a while, but just making sure we're working on what we need to do to make sure those penalties are eliminated is huge.
Ryan, what have you told yourself about controlling emotions from time to time? Because it appears that on occasion you're ready to kill somebody else on the other side of the line, and maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's football is a game of emotion, and playing with it and playing with that passion is something that I do, and being able to get to that line where it's going too far and stopping it is something that I've learned how to do a lot better, and which was just turned into me still playing that physical brand of football, but playing a little bit smarter and a little less past that line of emotion where it gets bad.
Ryan, the team announced this morning that you're the nominee for Salute to Service this year. We've talked about this before with you, but obviously helping military families is something that meant a lot to you. Just the amount of pride you take in this honor coming.
Yeah, no, it's awesome for my third year in a row getting nominated for the Salute to Service Award. I enjoy doing things with the military community. It's been a passion for a long time with a lot of family in my military. Last year and this year again, we're actually going to sponsor a service dog for a wounded warrior, along with just getting on Zoom calls and having relationships built with military families. Granted, the last 18 months has been all over Zoom, and it hasn't been a lot of in-person stuff. It's been awesome from even my times back in Baltimore, doing a lot of stuff with TAPS, which is an organization that helps with Gold Star families, families that have lost a member of their family while they were serving. So I've built some good relationships with that, and every year being able to continue that work because of what the military does for us and protects us and sacrifices so much for us to play really, in all honesty, kind of a silly game. It's awesome to be able to give back to them.
The need for service dogs for our service members is growing. How did you become involved with that particular aspect of it? And can you just talk about the process of kind of what goes into that? I mean, that's a lot of resources put into these animals. I understand I think they're rescue animals too, that they train, but just kind of what goes into that, how you got involved with that?
Yeah, for me, the Zoom calls and building these relationships with the military families is huge. But I felt like last year I wanted to do something a little bit more impactful. And that's kind of where that came up. Talking with Sarah Evans, who does a fantastic job here with all of our community relations, came to me, and I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to donate a dog. And she did a lot of the legwork for me, which was amazing. She's amazing at what she does. But she found an organization down here, Southeastern Guide Dogs, that we felt was a great fit for that. And we went through with that and donated some money to get a dog. And it's amazing what these dogs can do, what they can be trained to do: turning on light switches, turning off light switches, opening doors, from recognizing when a person is having an anxiety attack, having a PTSD attack, the way they react and try to get them to calm down and help them. It's amazing what an animal can do for these service members. So for me, again, that's why I wanted to do it again this year, donate another dog, is just because the impact that these dogs will have on these service members' lives.
Have you been able to meet the person that you helped previously with the?
Yeah, we had communicated and haven't had an opportunity to meet in person, but we've exchanged phone numbers and stayed in touch since.
Ryan, you guys go back to playing this Sunday against a pretty good front four. How's the offensive line going to cope with that? How are you going to keep Brady upright?
Yeah, I think for us, going in and day out, and just trusting the process of what we've been doing, playing football, at a I feel like a pretty high level up front. They're a really good front four. A lot of high picks have gone into that draft or into that line, and they play that way.
I know everybody's a little different with these bye weeks. Some people pay really close attention to what's going on in the rest of the NFC. There were a lot of games this weekend that actually worked in your favor. Other people just completely unplug and get away from football. Which one of those guys are you?
I'm a little bit of both. I like to unplug and just kind of relax and kind of get my mind off of football. But obviously, yesterday watched quite a few of the games and we had a lot of help, which is good, and it sets us up for this next 9-week run to really control our own destiny.
Yeah, because it seems like it's really, really close in the NFC in particular this year. There were a lot of one-loss teams.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, it's very close at the top, where it seems like the margin for error is going to be so slim, and home field advantage is going to be a lot more important this year. It seems like. Yeah,
definitely. Having home field advantage is going to be huge with having fans and traveling and all that. So staying atop the NFC is something that obviously you want to win your division. You want to secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and that starts really it's been all season for us focusing on that. But especially these last 9 games with how tight that race is, it's going to be huge.
You talked about getting help from other. I was saying that you talked about getting help from other teams. I think you guys knew you kind of controlled your own destiny, if you will. Does it feel better to have a little bit of a margin of error, I guess, to see other teams taking losses like that?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I feel like we still don't really have a margin for error. Like, we as a team, we feel like we have to be perfect throughout the rest of the season to really set ourselves up and really honestly control our destiny with having home field advantage and playing at home throughout the playoffs and stuff like that. So, yeah, those losses help us right now, but again, there's 9 weeks of the season left, and we gotta make sure we take care of our business.
Is it more about like pressure from the standard that you guys kind of set previously versus? I mean, yeah, obviously you want to control your own destiny, you want to win, but you have tape that's out there of what you guys are capable of, and all off season, and even up until this point, we're light years ahead of where we were last year. Do you feel like that is almost pushing you even more because you have that standard that's already kind of been set for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had that standard last year for ourselves just by who we wanted to be as a team. And coming into this year, obviously coming off the Super Bowl, those standards might have been, elevated a little bit more by outside people. But for us, we have the same standards we've had, the last 2 years. So for us, it's really no added pressure, I don't think, for us. I mean, I don't feel any added pressure going in with everything, and I think that's kind of the way the team feels too.